Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of The Fishing Teacher. And man, I really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to spend some time with me on the video. Always very grateful for that. And guys, we are coming up on Whopper plopper season. We're going to be giving you guys some tips and advice on Whopper plopper, a little bit of a refresher course, because man, nothing beats a good Whopper plopper bite when bass come up and just annihilate that thing. So I got some pretty good tips for you guys today we're going to go over. Also, guys, just a quick reminder out there, or a quick invitation out there. We're really pushing hard to reach 20,000 subscribers here on the Fishing Teacher. If you guys would like us to help us reach that goal, just please click on that subscribe button here at the Fishing Teacher. That'd be much appreciated there. Okay, guys, Whopper plopper fishing. Whopper plopper came on the scene about 10 years ago, and actually, there had been some people, I'd been one of the people out there, we'd been using it for a year or two before it came on the scene. It was people worked hard to keep it a secret because it was such a really good bait before it really got out. And then there was a big Bassmaster tournament, invitational one on it down at Table Rock Lake, and that it sort of came out, into the public at that point. And then everybody threw it. It's like, I remember down at Table Rock Lake, after that tournament was won, and I think James Watson won that tournament, and after it became known that he won it on that, you couldn't go down there for the next 2 years. Everybody's throwing Whopper ploppers. So it became less effective, but nevertheless, it still can be really good under the right conditions. And the right conditions for a Whopper plopper are late summer and early fall. That's the best time of year to fish it. So we're coming up on that. Going to give you guys some tips on overall just some stuff about how to fish it. Okay, first of all, let's talk a little about colors. And also, guys, I'll put my Whopper plopper link in the description of the video. If you guys, in my Tackle Warehouse link, I'll put that description in the video if you guys would like to order some. But right off the bat, the size I use, guys, is the 130 all the time. This is the 130 size. They make 3 or 4 different sizes. They got some smaller ones. I've tried the smaller ones and I have not done any good on it. And the big ones are more like for muskie, but this Whopper plopper 130, which again, I'll put the 130 link in my description in this video, it is the best one in my opinion. I've caught more fish on this thing by far than any other size out there. Color variations can be pretty important on a Whopper plopper. Overall, colors on top waters tend to be a little less important than other type of lure categories because basically the fish just see the bottom of it coming through the water for the most part. But nevertheless, it does have an impact. So here's a little bit of a foundation on colors. Early in the morning or on low light conditions, rainy days, like if it's really dark out or right off the bat in the morning, I like this brighter one here. I think this is called the, God, what is it? The monkey, not the monkey butt, bone. Yeah, I think they call this one the bone, even though it's not really bone, it's more yellow looking. But this is my favorite for early morning, right off the bat. I'll usually throw this for the first hour or two, or if it starts raining, I'll throw this thing. And then my favorite color all the way around, I don't care if it's, cloudy out or sunny or whatever, is a black one. I think they call this one the loon color. This is, if you could buy one Whopper plopper color and just throw nothing but it, this would be the one. This black loon color catches them in a lot of different conditions. And then if you have real clear water, say you have water visibility of over 4 feet or maybe some bright sunny days, get you some type of more of a translucent looking shad pattern like that. So you can pretty much get by if you just want to get started in Whopper plopper fishing and buying 3 Whopper ploppers, these would be the best colors for it. Okay, the next thing, little tip on here I'll give you is these are the stock hooks on a Whopper plopper. You can see right there. And these are good hooks. They're really stiff, but from my experience and from talking to my friends that are really good at Whopper plopper fishing, you always want to upgrade the hook a little bit. So I usually go to a #1 Gamakatsu G Finesse. I upgrade that hook. It's probably, it's maybe 1/8 of an inch bigger, and I've got them on both sides. And it doesn't affect the action any. Since this bait's coming right through the water, the larger hooks don't affect it. And you've only got 2 hooks on a Whopper plopper, so you've got quite a bit of area between it where the fish can miss it. And these bigger hooks, ever since I started using the larger hooks, upgrading them from the stock hooks, I've landed a lot more fish on it. I don't have near as many fish blow up and miss on it. So that's one aspect of it. Okay, the next one we'll talk about, which is really critical on a Whopper plopper, is the speed of your retrieve. Speed of your retrieve on Whopper Plopper is critical. And one of the biggest things I see, or one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of anglers make with a Whopper Plopper, is they fish it too slow. They throw it out there and they go bloop, 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 bloop. I don't catch many fish on it, guys. I catch most of my fish on a Whopper Plopper with a fast stop and go retrieve, especially in the summertime and early fall. So I'll cast it out there. I usually point the rod tip straight at the Whopper Plopper, and I'll reel pretty fast, stop and go like that, like 5 or 6 times, stop like that. So this thing is like moving through the water, goes bzzz, like that, but I'm hesitating it once in a while when I stop it. And that hesitation is really, really critical, because it gives those fish a split second sort of to catch up with it, because I'm reeling it through the water pretty fast. And usually when you hesitate that thing and start it up again, that's when they hammer it. That is, without a doubt, probably the reason a lot of people don't catch fish on a Whopper Plopper is they fish it too slow. Now, the exact speed of retrieve, again, has a lot to do with the conditions. The fastest you want to fish a Whopper Plopper is in conditions where you've got clear water, warm water, without much wind. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, and that would be water visibility for like over 4 feet. But if you're dealing with a situation where you have water visibility of like under 2 feet, that's when you might want to slow it down a little bit. I don't mean fishing it slow, but instead of like this fast retrieve, use some type of more of a medium fast retrieve. So your water visibility is going to be indicative to the exact speed, how fast you reel it through the water. But regardless, you definitely want to use that stop and go retrieve. Okay, and the final thing is just a brief foundation here, is the type of areas that you want to fish a Whopper Plopper in. Whopper Plopper, you can literally get bit almost on any type of bank that you're fishing. And it is a bank-oriented bait. One of the things I found out about a plopper, it doesn't work very good when you're fishing it out over open water. So let's say, for example, if you're fishing like a Zara spook, a lot of times you can catch fish on a Zara spook, fan casting it out over points, especially if the water's a little bit clearer, then those fish will come up on it. A Whopper Plopper, not so much. It's almost sort of like a buzz bait. Is the Whopper Plopper is best when you fish it shallow water, like water depth of like under 3 or 4 feet. Targets can be a good too, like reeling a plopper next to a lay down log or next to a boat dock can be good, but you don't have to have that. Whopper Plopper fishing in the late summer and the early fall, you can just go burn the bank, and you don't have to have any cover on the bank. You could have a gravel bank, a rocky bank, a bluffy bank, a clay bank, it doesn't really matter. Make sure that when you throw that plopper out there, you get it as close to the bank as you can, start that retrieve up as soon as you can, and really look for that strike to happen in that when that bait is over water that's like 1.5 feet to maybe 3 feet deep or something like that. That's going to be your high percentage spot. And it's just one of those baits that works better shallow. It's sort of like throwing a frog or a buzz bait up in shallow water. It just does not pull fish up off the bottom very good. And the equipment I fish it on a little bit different equipment. I throw it on usually 25-pound test Seaguar and Vizx fluorocarbon line, and I fish it on my flipping stick. The guys, the Whopper Plopper is a heavy bait, and I have found that combination of that fluorocarbon line and my flipping stick, I don't hardly lose any fish on it, and I can really control the bait good. I can get a good hook set. I can get good action on it simply because I'm not manipulating it with my wrist. I'm just reeling it straight in. A lot of people use braided line with a little bit softer rod. I've tried that, but I've had a lot more success on the 25 fluorocarbon with my flipping stick. So anyway, guys, that's just a few tips that has helped me catch a lot of fish on them. Just give it a try. I think it'll help you guys as well. So we'll talk later.